So I have what people call a lot of hats, and I have a lot of hats because I don't have a lot of hair, and I burn easily. I'm of a British, Northern European stock, and I don't really tan, especially up top. The problem in having a lot of hats is I don't really have a place to put them, and they end up all over the house, and it makes my wife super happy. No. So I need to do something about it, and I've decided to build a hat rack. And I'm doing a couple other projects with some finished plywood, and I've picked up 2 extra sheets of 1/2 inch, one to do this hat rack. So here we go. So it begins. I am knocking down this sheet of 1/2 inch finish for the hat rack, and these are my first cuts. So here we go. I get that it's a first world problem, but it's still a giant pet peeve. Just make it so that you can get the stupid sticker off. The 8 1/4 inch piece is cut, and let's go ahead and cut everything to size. And the hat rack is cut out, all the pieces. Well, I took care of the irregularity, so what I'm going to have to do, actually, I recut both top and bottom. I think I had a variance stacking issue. Instead of doing it 1/2 inch, I did it 3/4 inch, and it just stacked up the whole way. So I recut these, and I'm just going to trim these edges off after the glue is dry. But I've got some poplar face frame that I'm going to go ahead and tack on here all the way across as rails, and then the stiles are going to be individually cut, and again just glued and pneumatic nailed on. So some people will hold, the material down as they nail, just get in there really well. But don't don't get your fingers on the other side of the material where, like in a quarter size shape, or where the nail is going to shoot, because this happens. If you're holding that and it shoots, you get a nail on your finger. And you think, well, it doesn't happen that often. Grain of the wood happens all the time. So yeah, keep if you're gonna nail here, don't hold. Keep like a quarter's distance or so, like here. A couple inches, even better. All of these intercostal stiles are now cut at 4 1/4, 4 3/4, and 4 1/2. A couple little tweaks here and there, but I'm ready to glue and nail these down. All right, the face frame is on. I'm gonna go ahead and fill this with putty, all the nail holes, and sand it. And I'm also gonna flip it over and put a 1/4 inch back on it. After it gets puttied and sanded, it's going to get painted white, and then it'll go in. Oh, I said such dirty words. This is the very last nail I drove today, and ah, So pull up a chair, because we're gonna have a little talk. I fucked something up. I'm a firm believer in showing your mistakes and not trying to gloss over it or cover it up, but learning from them. And if I can learn from my own screw up, maybe I'll be helpful. I don't really know what happened here. So these are the plans, and in 2 different locations at 2 different times, I said that my envelope to put this in was 22 by 44 by 8.5. Well, I nailed it on 8.5, and I nailed it on 44, and I nailed it within 1/16 of an inch on 22. Except for my envelope wasn't 22 by 44 by 8.5. Apparently my envelope was 20 by 44 by 8.5. So I gotta fix it. Yeah, I'm not gonna edit that out either. I think I'm gonna take this entire top piece off. Yeah. So I'm gonna sit here and have some self-loathing time, drink the rest of this coffee that my sweet wife made, and then get to it. So here's the plan. I went ahead and I marked this on the face frame, went all the way around, and I'm going to take a circle saw and I'm going to cut all of these initial, both the front, the sides, and the back with the circle saw, and then come back with a Japanese saw inside and take that off, and then all of this should just come right off, and then I'll figure out a way to reuse this piece for something. Shit. I've already made enough mistakes on this. I need to be as precise as possible, so I pulled out the track saw and laid the track down, and I'll just make all the initial cuts with the track saw. So there's days when things go perfect, and there's days when they don't. This is the latter, not the former. Now then, that didn't take too long at all, and I still have like half a cup of coffee, and it's still warm. Done. Super simple. It wasn't that big of a deal, and one of the reasons why I want to show my mistake is to be able to show it's not the end of the world. There's no reason to scrap it or throw it away or burn it or whatever. There's always a fix. Always. Wood, metal, clay, there's always a fix. I've got this cut off. I'm actually going to put about a 1/4 inch piece on the top just to make myself feel better before I patch all the nail holes and put it in place for painting. One good thing that came of this is when I took the top off, I realized that it's a really nice little cubby for my wife's shoes. So also in the closet, I'm going to take that, put a bottom on it, and put it underneath some of her hanging clothes, And so that way she can put like 5 pairs of shoes on the bottom and 5 or 6 pairs of shoes on the top. And that'll really help out with some additional organization. So again, not the end of the world. I screwed up, fixed it, and we're back in business. Yeah, and I feel 100% better about myself. But I fixed it. Installed. So it actually fits 2 caps per cubby, and my flat caps up top, and even my tarbouche fit in the little cubbies. I actually have 2 fezzes. It's long story. I got them. I wear them, love them. Yeah, that's for another video. But I still have to fill the nail holes and paint, but I have to do that to the rest of our master closet anyway, so it fits really well. I'm happy to be able to have my hats where I can pick and choose since I wear them so often, and my wife is really happy not to have them cluttering up her life right now. So I think this particular build is a win-win for both of us, or maybe even a win-win for me and a win for her. So a triple win.